It feels like almost every game strives to keep you on edge, stressed out and competitive. And that could be a lot when you barely have any time during the day to get a session in. It can be hard to find a new game that lets you vibe out, especially a roguelike. A genre that lives and dies based on if a title is equally rewarding as it is challenging for the time and effort you put into it. Dogwitch is a brand new dice-driven roguelike deck builder, and it might be the chillest game I have ever played. From the goofy cartoonish art style to the background music you'd normally hear while you're having a sweet dream. Just listen to it, it really sets the mood. Everything about Dogwitch feels carefree, even the bare-bones aesthetic of the UI and menus add to that. I know a lot of folks would prefer to bury the lead when it comes to a game review, but I can't bring myself to be discreet or ambiguous when it comes to Dogwitch. I just freaking love this game. Roguelikes and roguelites are often growers, not showers, requiring a bit of patience to really enjoy the experience. That's not the case here. The moment I got to the dog customization, I knew I was in for a treat. Although after hitting a run, I had to think to myself, no meta progression? That's usually when you start to grow, know what I'm saying? The only real progression is your collection, which not only shows you what items you've seen, but it also marks ones you've used with the wrench and ones you've beaten the game with a trophy. It's a nice portfolio. It's perfect for any completionists that are tired of having a tab of Google Sheets open while they play a game. You can favorite an item in each category, letting you bring it on master runs or stacked hat runs. Hats in this game are different modifiers for your runs. There's quite a few of them that you can see before you even hit a first session. Speaking of which, gameplay is simple. It's turn-based combat that features a roll of 5 to 7 dice, depending on which items you have on. You get a complete witchy wardrobe to accessorize with man stoppers each run. Once you equip one, you can't switch it out later on, so read carefully and try your best to make something cohesive to help grab your first dub. Those dice you roll will hit a wand, book, curse, mana gem, spell, summon, or a bone. You get a spell after you get enough mana gems. Each and every spell has a different amount that they need before you can activate it. Dogwitch might be chill as fuck, but it's also tough as nails if you don't do some mental gymnastics on every churn. If you're ever unsure about what something does, click on any die and it will open your inventory. As expected, when it comes to basic runs, every run will be different. The starting mode is mostly about unlocking everything and figuring out exactly how you want to build for a master run. You're gonna get your shit kicked in at least a few times, at least if you have the same gutter level RNG that your boy has. But it's okay. Dogwitch isn't a game, it's your new comfort food. It's slow, quiet raindrops falling on a window in Arizona. 90% of the time, us desert dwellers get apocalyptic level monsoons, so peace like this is hard to come by. This mushy meditative state makes it so even losing doesn't feel bad. Instead of a steady stream of curse words, you'll be spouting cheesy analogies that no one understands but you. If you'd prefer sharing something a little more tangible with the class, there's an option to run back sessions by pasting a seed code in. I'm assuming you could share that with other people, as well as challenge runs, but I'm not too sure what that's about yet. I gotta be honest about something. This is my first time playing a deck building game, so those with experience in the genre might just fly through this beast. It took me 4 or 5 runs before finishing it up. The basic mode, that is. I was fueled by the praises of a delightful little princess lady fairy. The way she says perfect is perfect. She's a real one and we have to protect her. Beating the game's classic mode, I might have been calling it basic, I don't know why I was doing that, only took about an hour or so, which got me a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Is the ride really over? No. Once you've done that, you unlock a bunch of extra modes, and the Master mode especially changes up the formula quite a bit. No longer do you get equipables and upgrades after every fight, instead you'll get small buffs to start a round and only get a corruption, that's your upgrades, after a boss fight. Pair that with all the enemies getting a health and damage buff, you've got quite the challenge on your hands. You can't even run endless mode until you beat Master, and I hope I was able to do it. If I manage to muster up the IQ points and brain cells, you might see me beating Master right here. I actually managed to beat Master Mode. But the funny thing about never sleeping at all because your 18-month-old doesn't want to sleep, which means you don't get to sleep, is you can sometimes forget to switch the scene on OBS when you hit the record button. So instead of gameplay, it's just my face in a dimly lit room at 4 a.m. It is what it is. The best piece of advice for beating Master, I really hope I did, is knowing when you're about to get rocked, because there's a restart option in the pause menu, something I didn't notice for a good 6 or so hours. It's nice to see a game acknowledge that RNG can be dog shit and sometimes you deserve a second chance, or a third chance, maybe fourth. If you happen to get stuck in a loop like that, you should try clicking on enemies, especially a boss intro. It's fun to make them jump and sing for you. But don't you dare do it to the Princess Fairy Lady. I was just testing, okay? The game is undeniably charming, yeah, but it's not afraid to get weird with it. You think you've been having a tough run? Here's a crazy cat lady. And you didn't think they'd make a game about dogs without having the one true enemy, right? No, not a postal worker. I mean, there might be one, but I don't know for sure. But something so much more sinister. A TV with a squirrel playing on it. I don't know who thought to make that, but them and whoever's responsible for maybe the best soundtrack of 2025 deserve an infinite amount of scritches. Those goons and goblins is exactly how you get trapped, making you want to replay to see what other wild stuff is in store. Alongside all the uniquely designed items, who knows what you'll find when you're playing a game that just oozes style like this. Alright, let's head to the bad place because I do have a few negatives for Dog Witch. Sometimes when you're playing, the music will stop for an extended period of time, really throwing off the vibe. If they don't fix this soon, I'll be forced to mute the game and throw on some Stavi's World in the background like I do with a lot of other games. After all, there's not much dialogue or a story of any kind. And some of you already know that that's fine with me because I don't play these kinds of games for the plot. Then we come to the Gummy Hat, which might be the least interesting challenge I could think to attempt. You have to defeat a boss with only 1 health. I started playing Dog Witch because I needed to get away from friggin' Mega Bonk. Its meta-driven leaderboard had me hooked. The next run is the one, over and over and over again. Getting off of a ride that came with plenty of nail-biting, annoying challenges, something like the Gummy Hat is not my vibe right now. Maybe eventually I'll be willing to soak my body and surrounding area with sweat as I plot a means to beat this challenge, but not today. Luckily, I'm not forced to play only one way, so I can put it off for as long as I want. That's the thing with a lot of new games, they're early access whether they admit it or not. Dog Witch feels like a complete package, and it even passes my exclusive test, which is having endless mode. To me, that's how you round out a roguelike. I am playing about a week early, so I don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but I would easily pay about 20 bones for this, which would be like There's like 20 shields. They even have a roadmap planned with more content on the way. Not totally necessary, but hey, if they want to pile on more, I'm not complaining. But yeah, you've got all these different game modes, synergy with items, modifiers for runs, and just good vibes the entire time. Play how you want to play and never force yourself into getting stressed over a video game. Who's to say what should be deemed a masterpiece? Heckmouse should be proud of what they've created. I might be higher than most on it, but it's exactly what I needed in my life right now. Anyone else who's in need of a chill but strategic experience dedicated to providing the best vibes that it can, all while rewarding you for every session, you might just find this game to be perfect for you as well. The homies who want a break from being driven by rows of names that manage to hit the perfect run. Lucky for them, but getting stuck in a losing battle with bland meta can make anyone go crazy. Still love you, Megabunk, but I needed a break. So is Dog Witch a masterpiece? Only if they put one of my dogs in the game. I know I went heavy on the glaze here, but I highly recommend it and I look forward to running it some more. If there's anything you wish I would have taken more time to explain or some features that I might not have expanded on, just drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to address whatever your concerns or questions are. Dog Witch is simplistic in its design and it's very intuitive. After a few runs, you'll have it down. You'll be the best in no time, just like those who decided to become a member of this channel. They go out of their way to give my family and I some extra support every month, and I think it genuinely makes them better people, and it actually helps my vibe. It puts me in a good mood because it shows that they care, and they don't have to do that. And they know they don't have to do that, but they do it anyways. They're just that generous. Hopefully I was able to get this video out around the game's launch. The editing software I'm using is kind of a bit sketch. I mean, it's totally free and legal and everything, but it's like the free version of DaVinci Resolve. I do plan on upgrading it this month because of the generosity of someone who I'm not sure if they want to keep their anonymity. Some people are like that, and I totally respect that, but they know who they are. Crazy play. Seriously, you didn't have to do that. You're amazing. I'm just gonna say that. You know it. I'm saying it from my mouth to your ears, and you know who you are. You freaking awesome person. The rest of you are awesome if you actually watched all the way to the suggested videos part. I mean, that's a crazy play. You stuck around all this time just to hear me ramble incoherently as I'm like out of breath and words and water.